take him, go and kill him because he tore down my altar.
Hi guys, welcome to today's video. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for sticking with me. If you're new to the channel, my name is JCUB and I'm pleased to have you. Last week we began our series on lessons from Gideon. We considered the interaction between Gideon and the angel of the Lord, and we drew out lessons from that. In today's video, we'll be shifting gear a little and we'll be considering the first assignment that God gave Gideon after the visit of the angel. Our anchor scripture for today is Judges chapter 6 from verse 25 to 31. And it says, "That night the Lord told Gideon, 'Take your father's bull and another bull 7 years old. Tear down your father's altar to Baal and cut down the symbols of the goddess Asherah, which is beside it. Build a well-constructed altar to the Lord your God on top of that mound. Then take the second bull, burn it whole as an offering, using for firewood the symbol of Asherah you have cut down.' So Gideon took 10 of his servants and did what the Lord had told him. He was too afraid of his family and the people of the town to do it by day, so he did it at night. When the people of the town got up early the next morning, they found that the altar to Baal and the symbol of Asherah had been cut down, and that the second bull had been burnt on the altar that had been built there. They asked each other, 'Who did this?' They investigated and found out that Gideon, son of Joash, had done it. Then they said to Joash, 'Bring your son out here so that we can kill him.' He tore down the altar of Baal and cut down the symbol of Asherah beside it. But Joash said to all those who confronted him, 'Are you standing up for Baal? Are you defending him? Anyone who stands up for him will be killed before morning. If Baal is a god, let him defend himself. It is his altar that was torn down.'" The word of the Lord. You know, this Gideon story, like I mentioned last week, is a very interesting one. And we see what transpired between Gideon, the altar of Baal, and the reaction of his father and the people of the town in this particular scripture. And it's quite interesting because as soon as the angel left Gideon, Gideon built an altar there where he had had the interaction with the angel. But that same night, God came to him and said, "No, you will build me a proper altar. But first, I have an assignment for you." And in today's video, we're going to be drawing out lessons from this first assignment that God gave Gideon and how he went about it. So lesson number 1, address the cause. You know, we have a tendency to want to keep treating the symptoms of problems instead of addressing the root cause of the problem. Recall that last week we had established that the reason why God delivered the Israelites into the hands of the Midianites was because they were unfaithful to him and they were serving other gods. And God sent his angel to come and inform Gideon that he will be leading the fight against the Midianites. After the angel interacted with Gideon and left, God didn't just send Gideon immediately to go and fight the Midianites. No, he started by addressing the cause of the problem, which was the fact that they were serving other gods. So he gave Gideon the assignment to, first of all, tear down the altar in his own home. One of the ways that God works with people is that first, he works on you. Then that makes you fit for him to use you to carry out his assignment. And that's the same principle that God applied here. And there's something we can learn from this. If we do not address the root cause of the problems, we're going to keep treating symptoms. But when the root cause of the problem is addressed, then we can be sure that if we treat that particular symptom, that will be the end of it. So yes, start from the root. Lesson number 2. You cannot serve God with your idol still standing. Now, idol in this case may not necessarily be like what the Israelites had in those days. Your idol could be pride, it could be your constant need for public validation, or any of the other things that we have that are inherent in us that do not please God. That could be your idol. And when you decide to serve God, there are a lot of things that you will have to do away with. And just like God instructed Gideon to tear down the altar of Baal, whether it be our pride, whether it be faulty mindset, or anything that we are doing that does not please God, we would have to tear it down if we are really serious about serving God. Number three, courage isn't the absence of fear, but it is obeying despite the fear. You can see that this scripture said that Gideon could not obey God during the day because he was afraid. He did it at night, and guess what? God still acknowledged it. There is something called quiet obedience. Obedience does not always have to be loud to be powerful. So I'm encouraging you, if there's an instruction God has given you, you can do it quietly without making noise. God will still acknowledge it. Lesson number 4. Your obedience can spark faith in other people. At least that's what we see in this scripture based on the reaction of Gideon's father. Remember that the altar that Gideon tore down belonged to his father. So one would have thought that the man would be so upset that, in fact, even before the people will ask him, bring down your son, let us kill him, he will be like, take him, go and kill him because he tore down my altar. But guess what? That was not what Joash did. And I often imagine that Joash was feeling a mixture of emotions, maybe disappointment, anger, disgust, and just you name it. Because, I mean, he really thought that this altar was powerful. But it took his son tearing it down for him to realize there's actually no power in this thing. Oh. And that was why when the people from the city came to him and said, bring your son, let us kill him, his response to them was, let nobody defend Baal. In fact, anybody that tries to defend him will be the one to die. If Baal is really powerful, let him defend himself. You see, that truth, that acknowledgement of the truth that Baal is not powerful came because Gideon obeyed. And that his single act of obedience revealed the truth about the nature of the idol that his father had. So, yes, your obedience can open up doors to the faith of other people. Number 5, idols do not have power when confronted with the truth. You can see that as soon as God came into the picture, there was no longer room for Baal or the goddess of Asherah. And they could not even react because they didn't have any power. So there was no punishment, there was no fire, there was no thunder, there was nothing. It's just a clear indication that some of the things we actually are afraid of may not actually have power. But we need to be obedient to God to be able to see the true nature of that thing that we are afraid of. I just want to encourage you with this. I don't know what instructions God has given you. I don't know where you are currently in your work with God. But I encourage you that if God has given you any instruction, go ahead and do it. Do it even when you are afraid. Do it even at night because God will acknowledge it. I hope that this has blessed you. If it has, please go ahead and like and share this video. Until my next one, stay joyful, stay prayed up, stay blessed. Bye for now.